Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I am fantastic. How are you?
Hanging with my wife. Doing awesome. It's a good program today, Heidi. I'm looking at the show notes right now. Got everything all set and ready to go. By the way, you can follow along at home if you'd like. We've got our show notes blog posted at johnandheidishow.com. And then you'll see all the amazing stories that we talk about throughout this program. I know it's fascinating. And you'd think, how much does it cost for a subscription to such a service? Absolutely nothing. And it's worth that much times two, maybe. I don't know. Probably more. Hey, we've got Caroline Spence coming up later in the program. Now, Caroline is a movie maker from London, England. And Monday, our Movie Star Monday, is going to be Mia Mills. And they worked on the same project together. It's a movie called Do Something Jake. Guess what the budget was for this movie?
What was that?
$0. Just like this show. They said, we're going to make a movie with no budget at all. Not a low budget movie, a no budget movie. And we're going to see what we can make. And it turned out really good. I saw the trailer. I've got a link to all that stuff on our social media. I'm excited to chat with Caroline Spence later in the show. Got a quote here from Ingrid Bergman. Success isn't getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. I love it. It's a great quote. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, April the 27th today. It is National Devil Dog Day. Whoa, that sounds kind of bad. It's also National Babe Ruth Day, National Prime Rib Day. Oh.
So is it Babe Ruth like the candy bar or the...
No, that's Baby Ruth.
Oh, that's Baby
Babe
Ruth.
Ruth is the
Babe
baseball
Ruth is the
player.
baseball player.
There was a
Okay.
Babe Ruth candy bar as well. It didn't do as
I
well.
want to
but-
celebrate him as much as I would like to celebrate the Baby Ruth.
Okay. Well, do you know where Baby Ruth got its name?
Yes, from the president's daughter.
Oh, my goodness. Heidi, you've been hanging around me way too long. National Prime Rib Day today. I love that. I'm going to have to celebrate. National Tell a Story Day. National Arbor Day. Last Friday in April for that, by the way. National Hairball Awareness Day. What? And, okay. And the National Day of Silence today as well. I'm probably not going to celebrate that one. I talk way too much. A lot of stuff going on this Friday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, I got this story. Colombia could use drones to fight cocaine production. So right now, part of the problem in Colombia is, they've got so much terrain. There's the hills and the mountains and the over the valleys and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
Right.
And if grandmother's a cocaine smuggler, they struggle because there's so much rough terrain. Now they're saying, hey, we don't need to touch the terrain. We're going to fly over it with our drones. We'll be able to fight crime flying through the sky like Superman. I think it's kind of cool.
So they shoot those drones down, and then
Yeah.
you got no more drones, but...
Well, somebody in Colombia, maybe they have bulletproof drones. I have no idea. I don't know. They haven't thought of that one, Heidi. Spray it with a hose. Oh no, I'm melting. Well, I've got a link to the story on our show notes blog if you'd like to check it out. That is on our page, johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Heidi, I had a couple of great stories here that I was going to share, but guess what? They're also from Florida. I have so many drinking and driving and drug stories that I seriously, some of this stuff is from like 2 weeks ago, But I'm starting to run out of the fake news or Florida stuff, so I'm going to skip those. I'm going to go right to this one here from New Jersey. 30-year-old Kenneth Molesky of New Jersey arrested after drunkenly driving his car to a food town place there and parking in he obstructed the handicap space.
Okay.
When he pulled in, and then he passed out near the deli with a partially consumed chicken breast lying on his chest. So, quite a night.
Sounds like a typical Saturday for me.
No. The police were originally notified because he was visibly intoxicated and parked his car really weird. Officers talked to the gentleman when they saw him laying on the ground with the partially consumed chicken laying on his chest. After they woke him up, they spoke to him and detected an odor of alcohol in his breath. They had to take him to the hospital where they did the blood level intoxication. He was subsequently charged with driving while intoxicated, reckless driving, and obstructing a handicapped space. The staff there were advised on how to file charges for the unpaid chicken if they wish to as well. So he didn't pay for that. Quite a story. What a night that gentleman had. Coming up here in a moment, we got more fun stuff to get to. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. I know there's some fans out there of this thing called Star Wars. Have you heard of this?
Once or twice.
Yeah. Well, just
Not familiar,
a little less than a month ago now, before Solo, a Star Wars story, hits theaters. A couple of trailers came out last week. I've been saving this, and it's not that I've been saving it. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. I am cleaning house. I'm doing spring cleaning, and you can see all of the stories we haven't had a chance to get to on our show notes blog. I'll tell you more about that here in a little bit. But I just don't have room for it all. And I was like, I'm not going to tell you stories that are 3 weeks old anymore. I got to get to the new stuff. But I'm trying to sift through. There's so much fun stuff. But this is coming out, and there's a slew of merchandise showing up already.
Of course.
And you can see what to expect in a galaxy far, far away. All of the footage that's released so far has been cut into one giant big trailer by a fanboy, as our son calls them. So they took everything that existed and they put it all into one big video, and I've got a link to that one big video, and that is today's Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. A new report says that Tristan Thompson was seen flirting with models during the NBA All-Star Weekend last weekend. So he's, also with that Kardashian lady, and that's his girlfriend.
That's his main squeeze.
Yeah, but he's in trouble for that. So I don't understand why you would do that. It's not like nobody knows you, and it's not like anybody's going to talk about this. You shouldn't do it anyway.
I wonder if he's married.
You shouldn't do it even if you could get away with it. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. But of all the people to do it, somebody that's in the spotlight like that,
right,
what
exactly.
did you think was going to happen? And I don't know. Maybe, again, I'm cleaning up all the news here. This is all going to be, whatever I don't get to is going into our spring cleaning page on the John and Heidi Show blog, because I got to just move on. A 90-pound pet tortoise cracked its shell. It fell from a 10-foot wall in California. Veterinarians repaired it using screws and zip ties and denture material. Never thought about that before.
This
but
is like a modern-day version of Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, it's Humpty Dumpty the turtle, though. It is a 90-pound tortoise. So not a turtle, but a tortoise. According to an international survey, road rage has become a growing worldwide problem. Where do you think the worst locations are for road rage?
Oh, I would have to say New York City or Los Angeles.
Well, let's talk about countries. Which countries do you think are the worst road rage of all those countries?
Germany?
Okay, well, let's take a look. No, they're not on the list. The worst locations are Austria, not Australia, Austria, which is right by Germany, so Heidi's real close. France comes in number 2, then the United States, followed by Russia, and then Belgium, where 2/3 of drivers say they have been victims of road rage in the past year. So those are the worst locations. 2/3. Have you been a victim of road rage recently? I know you were when you were in high school. you cut off a guy on a motorcycle
Yeah.
and he chased you.
Yeah, that was awful.
Heidi. She didn't mean to, but she accidentally almost ran over a guy on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
He
that
turned
was-
around and
that was
followed
pretty
her.
horrible.
And then yelled obscenities in her window as she was pretending not to hear him. So,
That was pretty horrible.
if that happened to be you in Iowa back in the 1990s, I'm sure she's really sorry. There's a video online. I think it's really funny. It says road rage in Canada. Have you seen this video?
Yeah.
There was an
They're being
issue.
just very nice to each other.
Yeah, there was a guy that pulled out in front of a motorcycle, and the guy on the motorcycle almost hit him, and then they get on the side of the road, and he gets out, he goes, "Oh, you okay? Is everything all right? You sure you're all right?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my fault. I was going too fast. Oh, it's my fault. I should have been looking." And it's just the greatest video. I watch that and think, that is so true. I mean, that's funny how different things can be, But that's not how road rage goes in the, everywhere.
No, not typically.
Especially in these 5 countries we
Especially
just
if
talked
you're
about.
the one driving.
Yeah, Austria, France, the United States, Russia, and Belgium. Worst road rage ever. And authorities charged a U.S. Postal Service employee with detaining and delaying mail. So if you sent something and it hasn't shown up yet, chances are this dude might have had it. There were, are you ready for this? Have you heard about this already?
I don't know.
17,000 pieces of mail.
Whoa.
He was overwhelmed by how much he had to deliver, so 10,000 pieces were stuffed inside his Nissan Pathfinder.
Oh, my
He also had
gosh.
6,000 pieces of mail stuffed in his apartment and 1,000 pieces of mail in his work locker. So,
Newman used to do that on
yeah.
Seinfeld. Remember,
Yeah.
they would go up into his apartment and it was full of mail.
yeah, I bet they probably didn't like that when they were portraying him that way. But it's this dude.
It
was
is a federal offense. They
It
can't
is.
do
It's a bad
that.
deal.
So
That's a
it's
really bad deal. And
really
one last
bad.
thing. Did you ever like the show Saved by the Bell?
No.
Can you name more than 1 or 2 characters from there?
Probably only Screech, and that's
Screech,
the only one I
Zach,
would know.
Slater.
I have no idea.
I could just make up names now and you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know,
Molly,
honestly.
Fred, Wilma,
Possibly.
Betty. Oh, no, these are different. Well, for those of you who are really Saved by the Bell fans, there is a new Saved by the Bell themed restaurant in the works. And if you're looking for that, you'll find it in Chicago. A bar and a diner based on the popular TV series scheduled to open about a month from now. June 1st is when they're... And Heidi's already mapping out a plan to make sure we're there for that.
Not
No.
even a little.
I wonder if they'll have Screech come and work there and be a greeter and stuff. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know. Saved by the Bell. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us. I'm really excited to visit with Caroline Spence. She's a filmmaker, and she's got a bunch of great projects that she's working on, but one that absolutely caught my eye, it's a movie called Do Something Jake. And here's one of the really neat things. When you look at the big blockbuster movies and how much these things cost to make, it's millions. And I mean sometimes hundreds of millions. Do Something Jake has a budget of 0. Caroline, how do you make a movie with a budget of 0?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to put forward because, some people, 0 for some people means, I don't know, $5,000, $20,000. Even somebody like Sylvester Stallone thinks 0 is $12 million. It's that kind of... It's a bit of a grey area, but for us in particular, we literally we came into the project with no production budget at all. We just had no money. We spent money on food, which one has to eat anyway, so that's just a regular outgoing. And we just put a call out, really, for... We put this across as a community project, as an experimental project to see how far we could go with just, really enthusiastic people, the help and goodwill of the local community, borrowing equipment, being given locations for free, and it just this project which started off to be quite a small project one that is normally, one would think that you could film on really next to nothing. It turned into quite a big undertaking in the end, and it just snowballed. And we still managed to get through without, spending anything other than a bit of petrol, a bit of gas, a bit of food, and people worked on deferred fees. So we haven't paid anyone yet. If and when the film goes on to make a lot of money, then everybody gets money and everybody gets their payment. But it was an experiment to see how far we could go on just enthusiasm.
Well, I think it's absolutely fascinating that you've been able to do that. And I like what you're saying, where it's, they're getting paid deferred. So if the movie does well, then all of these people who kind of took a risk and said, you know what, I'll give you some time. I'll take the time to come and help do this. And if the movie does well, then they would get paid at that time. I think that's just a great way to do things.
Yeah, you're correct in saying it's to take a risk, because it is a risky thing to do. But you've got to take a risk sometimes. Certainly in business, certainly in the film industry, I've been writing screenplays for years now, and I've got a lot of interest from sales agents, distributors, producers in London and Hollywood, LA, and they all love what I've done. But I haven't made a feature film before, so to do something, Jake, was a way of saying, okay, hey, now I've made a feature film. This is what I've done. This is what myself and the director, James Smith, have managed to do on zero money. Now we've got a track record. Now maybe we can, move forward and be taken seriously in the industry and work with a proper budget and, move forward. It's making Do Something Jake it's the first rung of the ladder, and we're going to see how far we can take it, as I say. So it was a risk, but it's been an enjoyable risk, and we love what we do, and we've loved making this film, and we've loved the people that we've worked with on this project. So I think it's going to be worth it.
Again, visiting right now with Caroline Spence, and she put together a project for a movie with no budget. The movie is called Do Something Jake. Let's talk about the movie. You were the writer of this as well. Let's talk about the story and what people are going to see. I think the story is a great story.
Yeah, it's an unusual story because, Jake is, and I think he's a really interesting character. He's got so many different levels. He's flawed. He's not perfect, but that's what makes an interesting character. He's a I suppose he's a misfit. He's an introvert. He is underestimated by a lot of people because he has difficulty learning to read and write. He still struggles even as an adult, and so people underestimate him. He lives in an apartment block, and his neighbour who lives downstairs, Alice, played by Mia Mills, Jake is in love with Alice, and he secretly watches her from a secret sort of area above her apartment. He can see what she's doing, in her living room, and he's a voyeur, basically. And when he sees firsthand that Alice is getting into big trouble with her live-in boyfriend, he steps in to help her in a very unconventional way. The film, although it's been described as a brooding thriller, it does have a strong thread of humour that runs right through it, which we think is important in any film. I love watching films with humour, with some comedy element in it, and it's quite a complex story. For a zero-budget movie, it's unusually complex, and but by the end of the film, I'm hoping that everybody's going to walk away satisfied and happy with the outcome. I do tend to write films that have a happy ending, so we'll see. We'll see if people like how Jake's character arc goes, turns around and he works through his problems.
Well, I'm hoping for a happy ending for the film as well. I think it's amazing that you've got all these people that came together to say, hey, I'll help you, Caroline. I'll come all the way to England. For those of you that haven't caught that from her accent, she's British. She's in the United Kingdom. And you even had an American actor who paid his own way to fly there to be in the movie. And I think that's amazing. And we're going to be visiting with him in the coming weeks here. And you mentioned Mia. We're going to actually visit with Mia on Monday for Movie Star Monday. She's a British actress, and she's taken part in this film. I've kind of taken this project under my wing, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help promote this, because I would love to see this movie become a huge success, because I've seen all of you people take a risk and say, you know what, I believe so strongly in this, I'm going to do it for free, and if it doesn't make anything, I don't make anything. But if it does really well, then that's really cool. I just think that is an amazing way. Do you think other people are going to start doing things like this in Hollywood, or do you think this is just people still think it's crazy?
Well, I mean, one of our big inspirations has been a lot of, micro-budget filmmakers, people like Sean Baker, who made Tangerine on an iPhone. I mean, it's filmmakers like him that just try new ways of making a movie, rather than your traditional Hollywood studio route, or you're working with your different producers and sales agents and distributors to pull money in from all sorts of, big sums of money from all sorts of different corners, and to have your big star names attached in order to promote sales. That's viable, and that's great. But I think the smaller independent movie makers are almost pushing the boundaries of what can be done in indie film and in the filmmaking world. And so I think with what we've done with Jake, I know a lot of people have made some great movies on very little money. We're hoping that we can, we're hoping that we can do something a little bit different, in that we've made it on next to no money, zero money, but we've produced a film that isn't traditionally a zero budget sort of subject matter, like two people in a room kind of thing. I can't do that.
No, I'll tell you, I saw the trailer, and I'm absolutely amazed at the quality of this project. And when you watch this, even if there was a budget, you'd watch it and say, what a great movie. But when you watch this and say, I can't believe they did this with no budget. And it's a lot of people having faith in one person, and you, in Caroline, saying, I believe in Caroline. I'm going to give Caroline my time, and I know that she's going to take good care of me. So I think this is a testament to you and what you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I think the support we've had for this film, from the cast and the crew, from the local people that in the town in which we filmed, we couldn't have done it without them. I mean, it really is a big collaboration with everybody. I'm hoping everybody that worked on this film feels it's their film as much as it's my film. And because we couldn't have done it without them, without their, as you say, without their belief and their trust. I mean, they trust us, especially Ed, who flew himself over from New York, although we've known him for a little while. It took a hell of a lot of trust and the risk on his part as well to do this. But yes, I think I'm just, really, really thrilled. Going to be eternally grateful that these people have put themselves out to help make this movie.
Again, our guest today, Caroline Spence. Caroline, thank you so much for taking the time to visit. If we'd like to see the trailer, where do we find that right now online?
Right, well, you can go straight to DoSomethingJake.com. Hopefully that's nice and easy for people to remember. And there's all the links there. You can see the trailer. There's a link to the IMDb page, Facebook, Twitter. Everything is there. That you should be able to learn all about the film, read the synopsis, watch the trailer. So DoSomethingJake.com.
And we're going to make it even easier. We're going to throw a link to that on our social media to make it simple to find. And that's Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Penguins can jump as high as 6 feet in the air.
That is
6 feet.
crazy.
Yeah, penguins. So a penguin could literally jump over me and have like
over a fence.
an inch to spare. How do they keep penguins in at the zoo then? They must not. They must have taller fences apparently.
No, they really.
I don't know. So again, penguins.
Actually, the ones that I've been to, they're completely enclosed. With just
well,
windows.
that's now you know why. Because otherwise, those
'Cause they
penguins
can
would
jump.
leap right out of there.
That's crazy. Taylor loves penguins.
Yeah, I know she does. Yeah, that's our daughter, by the way. Another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
All polar bears are left-handed. So
Really?
We've talked about this recently. We were talking about dogs and cats that could be right or left pawed, and we still don't know exactly how they determined if they're right-handed or left-handed. But apparently, they handed them a pencil and just wrote down what they, I'm not sure. Somehow they determined that. Couple of fun facts right there, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
It's time right now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and I wanted to say a big shout out to the folks at the grandiloquent word headquarters, by the way. We don't make up these words. They make them up. I reached out to them, I don't know, maybe 9 months ago, something like that. Had a listener tell me, hey, if you guys are looking for silly words, I'm a fan of this page. And back then they had 7 fans on Facebook. And then we started talking about them. Now they have almost 300,000 fans on Facebook.
Holy cow.
They had more than 7. I was being silly. You were supposed to say something.
Well,
but
I was going to say, that's a very impressive jump.
It is. That has been a very nice jump. So
It's the John and Heidi show effect.
it is. Yeah, that happens far and wide. I mean, just...
You got me all excited.
Hey, we mentioned a movie one time, and it became the #1 movie in America. So
Yes, it did.
I'm pretty sure that's because of us.
Again, the John and Heidi show effect.
Well, here's
We quit representing a company one time for their big sale every year. Now they're going out of business.
They're gone, yeah. See you later, Toys R Us. I'm just saying. No, over here, here's the word today, and I'm pretty sure they listen to the program now because here's the word. It's crock. C-R-A-W-K. Crock. What do you think a crock is?
Crock.
Crock.
Is that a noise that an animal makes?
No, kind of close. It is a radio announcer who imitates an animal. So it's a person who would make barking noises on the radio or
like Wolfman Jack.
Yeah. Well,
Ow!
I don't think quite that.
Right?
But yeah.
He did.
Yeah, maybe.
He did. That was like his whole persona.
But he talked too. I think this is just someone who just makes the animal
I don't
noises.
think so.
Yeah. Like my friend Freddie the Finch and Foxy Foxman. I don't know. What does a fox say anyway? There was a song about that. We still don't know.
I don't know.
All right. This has been your grandiloquent word. The word again today is crock. C-R-A-W-K.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
This segment is called Weird News, and this story definitely lives up to that title. Now, some of you may have already heard about this. It happened like a week ago, and I've gotten this sent to me with many other things that I just don't have time to get everything on, but I got to share this story.
Okay.
I mean, when is this ever going to happen again? And then we're going to tell you about
Tomorrow.
spring clean. Yeah, probably. A police report states upon returning home from work last Tuesday, a Louisiana resident discovered a woman naked in her bathtub eating her Cheetos. Now, that doesn't happen every day. So she came home at 5 p.m., confronted an intruder. The naked burglar claimed that an unknown male told her to break into the victim's house. Yeah, he told me I should do it.
Just break on in that one.
Anyway, she came home, found a naked person in the tub eating food and her Cheetos. So she had a plate of food and her half-eaten bag of Cheetos. So she was arrested for burglary and criminal damage, by the way. So for those of you who think that's a good idea, don't do that. It's a bad plan. Now, I have many other stories like this that have been sent to me, and I feel bad because some of our stories are getting to the point where they're like a week old by the time we finally get to them. So I'm doing some spring cleaning, and I've got a spring cleaning, all my extra stuff page on our show notes blog. So you'll see all of the other stuff is listed by date, and there's one that just says spring cleaning. It's all the extra stuff we don't have room for. Some of these are stories that I just made the decision I'm not reading that on the radio. So there's some that's kind of interesting stuff, but for the most part, same kind of stuff. We just don't have room for it all. And that's on our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com. Time now for the moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. A former South Texas Juvenile Justice Department employee has been sentenced to 50 years in prison, Heidi, for felony theft after authorities say he acknowledged to stealing $1.2 million worth of fajitas over the last 9 years. Wow.
That's a lot of fajitas.
That is a whole bunch of fajitas. So what happened here, the district attorney, Luis Sanz, says that Gilberto Escarmia was fired in August and arrested after authorities obtained a search warrant and they found packages of Tex-Mex food in his refrigerator. Investigators subsequently checked vendor invoices and determined he intercepted county-funded food deliveries and had them delivered to his own customers. The scheme imploded when he missed work one day in August for a medical appointment, but a delivery showed up with 800 pounds of fajitas. Officials said, "We don't serve fajitas."
Oh, no.
And then they had to start figuring out, wait a minute, we've been selling you guys a lot of fajitas. Yeah, $1.2 million.
Oh,
and he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those nasty kids and their dog Scooby. Oh, no, it was because he didn't show up for work.
He's in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, he's in a lot of... Scooby can't help you here.
And what worse thing to steal from than from
bad.
disadvantage? That's awful.
Well, he stole from the Juvenile Justice Department. That's where it was. So just a bad thing. Coming up, we've got more fun stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Time now for fake news or Florida. You ready for the story, Heidi?
I'm ready.
Okay, you tell me if this is real and it happened in Florida or if this is just me with phony baloney, fake news.
Okay.
A man, originally from Florida, has been accused of breaking into Taylor Swift's Soho townhouse, using her shower and taking a nap in her bed. Fake news or Florida? What do you think?
Florida.
It is. It's a true story. 22-year-old Roger Alvarado figured out his way to climb through the pop star's window, made his way into her home, and then used the shower and proceeded to lay in her bed. He was asleep when police investigating the case found him. According to the Daily News, which first reported the break-in, it wasn't his first arrest at Swift's home. He was also reportedly arrested for trying to break into the Franklin Street townhouse with a shovel back in February.
What a wackadoo.
Yeah. NYPD confirmed that Alvarado has been charged with stalking, burglary, criminal mischief, and trespassing. So all of those. Or trespassing, I think is the right way to say that.
That's the nice thing about not being a likable celebrity.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with that sort of thing.
We don't have that.
We don't have that issue.
People stalking Heidi. They would stalk you way before they'd stalk me. I'm like stalking people. I'm like, you listen? Thank you very much. I want to chat some more. They're like, I really
have had a couple of kind of creepers.
No, you've had some
just a
bizarre
few.
things. Well, if you'd like to read this story, our fake news or Florida, it's part of our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and our good news comes your way courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies, and all of the details can be found at radiosavings.com. Over here, I got a story that is our good news story from Salt Lake City. Carjacker flags down police and surrenders after realizing child is in the vehicle. So,
oh, wow.
You never think carjacking,
wow.
You know, when a story starts out with a carjacking, usually that's not good news. But it could have been a whole lot worse. Earlier this week, a mother left her car running in the parking lot at a Salt Lake City motel so she could just run into the lobby and check into a room.
Oh, my gosh.
That is when 23-year-old Francisco Esmardo, I probably said that wrong, seized his chance to take the vehicle. As the carjacker pulled onto the interstate, however, he realized he had somebody with him. Her 12-year-old son was sitting in the back seat.
Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Instead of escaping, he flagged down a police cruiser, told the officer about his crime, turned himself over so the child could be reunited with his mother. Now, he could have pulled over and dumped the kid out on the side of the road. He could have said, I'm keeping the kid. There's a lot of things that could have been awful
he could
and
have
terrible.
tried to get ransom.
Yeah.
He did the right thing.
Well, here's what the police say. They say, we believe he was just trying to steal the vehicle and didn't know there was a kid in there.
Well, yeah, I think so, too.
And they say he was trying to get away, but he did not tell police exactly who or what he was trying to escape because they feel that he took the car to get out of the area in a big old hurry. So, again, thankfully, the unharmed boy was reunited with his mother shortly after the carjacker turned himself in. So I've got a link to this story in our good news section at the John and Heidi Show blog. Have you even looked at the blog yet, Heidi?
Oh, every day.
You have
at least 15
I have had like
times.
a dozen notes in there,
day.
too, to see if you've... And you've not said anything about any of them. I haven't really. But I should have, because I know you've never even looked at it. Because I said, do you think the blog's looking better? She's like, yeah, well, the what now? The blog.
We have a blog?
I kind of tightened it up. It looks a little better now. Does it look a little nicer? You're like, looks fine. You've never even seen it. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You're like, we have a blog? What? We have a blog? I got a link to that at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening on a Friday.